A full Facebook ads tutorial for beginners in 2025. My name is Ricky Hayes and welcome to today's video on a Facebook ads beginner guide tutorial in 2025. As you can see here, I've got this Google Doc, and this Google Doc has all the instructions that you need so that you have both the video as well as a doc that can help you. To get the doc, just like today's video and comment the word Facebook down below, and my team will add that in the comment section right underneath yours as well. So I'm just in my ads manager, and firstly what you want to do is you want to go to sales. Most of us are running e-commerce, and so then it'll open up this. It'll be a default Advantage Plus sales campaign, which is, or another word, ASC. You want to call it what your product name is, product name, and then I like to put in ASC Plus. That's just so I know it's an Advantage Plus campaign, because you might also just be not running that as well, just so that you know at a high level. It's really easy. You want to put auction sales. You don't need to do ad sales. Ad sets, that's a more advanced one. I have that in a future video. That is literally a brand new feature that has only just come out. Budget by default is campaign budget. Most of the time you will want to run campaign budget. If you are on a very small budget, I have a video here you can check out that, like on $3 a day, where you would use ad set budget because you want to have a great deal more control. But if you can try and run a campaign-based budget, you usually get better results because Facebook automatically optimizes for you. Daily budget, put it to $25. At least you want to be spending $15 a day is my general recommendation, which is 3 ad sets at $5 a day each. Preferably you want to focus on with the US as well. I mean, it depends where you're marketing, right? If you're in Australia and you're marketing to the US, expect that your cost per click is going to be about $1.50, because actually that's about $1 a US. So just understand those things as well. Bid strategy, highest volume, you want to leave it as that. When you scale, you can use these other ones, but you just want to leave it as highest volume in the beginning. Budgeting, leave that. You don't want to do A/B testing. Audience segmentation reporting is when you have an audience, you can add an engaged audience or existing customers. So existing customers would be your email list, for example, of past buyers, and your engaged audience could also be your email list, as well as people that have added to cart, initiated checkout, add payment info. It just helps you define your ad accounts audience segment in the advertiser setting to receive reporting breakdowns of your new audience, right? So it just helps when you're using the ads manager for a breakdown of your audiences as you do deeper analytics to see where the money is being generated from. Special ad categories is only if you're doing like housing, government, real estate. But in most of our cases, I've never had to do that. Then you got your new ad set. So again, we want to call it ASC Plus. If you're adding an interest, I would put the interest name. So let's put PetSmart. I put the ages, so generally, and then I'll put gender. 25, 44-year-old women would be, we've got age, then gender, and then location. And just if there's additional locations, put a plus is all I do. I just prefer to do it manually this way. That's just my preference. Now, if you've got website and app, you can do that as well. Most of us just doing website. So you leave that maximum number of conversions, use your pixel, your conversion type will be purchase, always purchase, just leave it straight purchase. I don't have conversion tracking set up. You use the Facebook and Instagram sales channel by Shopify to set this up. Value rules we won't get into today, but value rules are an advanced thing where you can tell your ad set to spend more. If you're targeting all these ages and gender demographics, you could say, I want to still by default spend more in these areas, right? So just you can leave your targeting open, and then have this where it's sort of your targeting is open, but it spends more in key areas. But you need some data to know that. Or if you already know that, then you might want to set that up in the beginning. But if you already know that as well, I strongly recommend optimizing that in the demographics. Show more settings. The attribution I now run as incremental attribution. I find that works best, and that's where we're sort of leading towards now with AI and LTV, lifetime value. We're seeing the incremental attribution is becoming more and more important. I think that's going to become the new standard in the next 12 months, that as e-commerce is getting very competitive, the most important part is things like incremental attribution. You don't need ad set spending limits. You schedule, always want to schedule it for the next business day. Okay. So at midnight, I don't know why it's not letting me do that. There we go. I don't set an end date unless you're running a very specific campaign. You don't do that. So you might set an end date if you're running like a specific sales campaign, maybe Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where you might be doing that. But 99% of cases, you just turn the dial off. So don't be worried by that. Audiences, this is where if you've got saved audiences, I don't naturally in this one. And you can see Advantage Plus is on and it's doing all the work. Now, different countries, you might have to do some requirements just for regulation. Here in Australia, there's that one. It's nothing to be worried about. You can show more controls. You can see the minimum age, and you can also control that as well. You can exclude people, which is basically where if you know a certain type of demographic, let's say you got data that you want to exclude, you can exclude that. But in the beginning, you don't want to worry about that, or leave all languages on. And if you want to add an audience as well, you can do that under here. So you can say ages and genders. You can then control it. And then if you want to add an audience, you can do that. In the past video, I have it where it's teaching about interest targeting. So I'm going to use one called PetSmart. So you can see 22 million, massive, massive brand placements. You just want to leave that as default. I very rarely ever change that. 1, 2, 3. Then you go into your ad, and this is where you just give it a name. I just put ad one, and I give it UGC, which is the type of ad. So is it image, video, and then I would put in video as well, because video is UGC video, just so you sort of know, right? That's all you're after, is just that. If you're running partnership ads, I have a video in the channel. You can go check that out on how to run a partnership ad. That's with an influencer. You can connect to their Instagram, pull a video, and use it in your ads, which actually converts really, really well. You got your Facebook page, Instagram, and your threads. Strongly recommend getting those set up. You can do that in the business settings. Tie it to your ad account. I have videos on that. You can go through that as well. And this is here where you upload the creative, right? So flexible is what I do. That's just sort of the way it's going. If we want to add images, add video. Once you add an image or video, I'll add one now. Now I've added a video, and you can see that the video is automatically played. You can then see, you always want to make sure the most important one is your 9:16 ratio, which is for mobile. That's just the way it is. So you want your creative to use the full thing. It just sits nicer than if it, if it doesn't, right? Like, so if you can get it for mobile, you should always be optimizing for mobile to use the maximum placement. It just naturally just gets a lot more interest, and it helps your conversions. So primary text is where you add the primary text, which is the benefits of your product. Are you looking for this? Are you, whatever that looks like. Whenever you do this, you can add up to 5 text options as well. And I turn on Advantage Creative Optimizations. So vary your ad creative and destination based on the person's likelihood to respond. Basically, Facebook's just doing more of the legwork for us, honestly. Headline is, the best AI theme in the market, in the world. Right? Of course it is. And then your description as well. You'll see that now that I've started doing this, if I go to desktop, it'll give you a better idea. You can see that's why the copy isn't that important. You can see with what I've done there, which is the primary text, you can see it there, and then the headline, but you can't really see the headline, right? Because we're aiming for mobile, look at what you mainly see, the video. 98% of it's the video. So that's why you want to obviously use this space as you should and add text options. However, you can see it's the video, especially because these days it's all about 9:16 ratio mobile for Reels. That definitely performs the best. Display link is where you can basically have your URL and slightly adjust it. It can help with click-through rate. So instead of like www.dogs.com/PetSmart, right? You might be able to put dogcollar.dogs.com. It just helps within a small association. It doesn't make a major difference, but basically it's just the end destination is the same because you put in the website URL here anyway. You can do build URL parameters. That's more advanced for as you're scaling, where you might be using Google Analytics and you're using UTM tracking, but we're not doing that today. And you choose the appropriate call to action. Don't think about the call to action. Go with the one that's the most obvious. For e-commerce, it's always shop now. Your browser add-ons, you can add Instagram Direct. For e-commerce, you just want to go none, right? Now, if you're also editing this, you can also edit it here, and you can see how you can do some trimming, you can change the voice, you can apply some changes. Very, very straightforward. If you're running catalog ads, you can do Advantage Plus catalog ads. That's if you're got a number of SKUs. So I think that one does really, really well. I've got a number of videos on that as well. And I also forgot to say, if you're also running a campaign and you don't want to, like a new marketing campaign, but you don't want to change your campaign structure, you can also now schedule ads within schedule ads themselves, right? So which is really handy. Before, it always used to be you could only schedule an ad set, so you'd have to duplicate an ad set, put in the ads, schedule it. Now you can keep your campaign ad set structure the same, make a duplicate ad, and then set the schedule for that too. So if, again, a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you might have specific creatives and you might want it only in this ad set that's already optimized and working. Boom, there you go. Just gives you more flexibility and options as to how you can present it. Events is if you're running events, we're not doing that. Website events, you always want that set up because you need that for your data. Depends if you're running app parameters, app events. Other than that, that is pretty much it. The key tip I have in the previous video is when uploading creatives, I recommend that you use a business asset, creative asset group. You can just upload a lot of creatives a lot faster and easier there. I'm actually building a tool that allows me to, making just a simple Facebook app that allows me to then upload creatives automatically. It saves me some time, and then I can automate UGC creatives, right? So really excited about that. I'll be sharing that as soon as I've fine-tuned that, especially for the new brand that I'm sort of building out there too. So I just wanted to make this video on a full Facebook ads beginner tutorial. I hope this has been helpful. All right, so that concludes today's video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to subscribe for more content. Like today's video to show me that you enjoyed it. Comment down below Facebook if you want the doc that just has all these steps so that you have it sort of in a written form as well. I've got plenty of new content coming out, building out these new brands, both e-commerce and SaaS, and I'll be building my new channels around that, especially for the new D2C brand, where I'll be revealing more of that, where it'll be more focused on that, and this is more focused on just general marketing. And I've also got another SaaS one, so be sure to stick around. There's quite a lot of content. I'm really enjoying it. Otherwise, I just wanted to say thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely day. Take care and goodbye.